Good night, y'all. Welcome to Feminine Success TV. I'm your host, Yaya Smith. I hope that y'all have had an amazing start to your week. I'm super excited to get into this topic tonight because it is a good one. We have been talking all week, all over the internet about showing up as our best, about people's opinions of us showing up as our best. And I want to get into it because this is such a big topic when you're talking about femininity, when you're talking about beauty, um, to show up in a way that makes you feel good. And when we listen to what Monique said, a lot of people feel like, she shouldn't have said anything. Some people feel like it's none of your business, it's not hurting anyone. And I want to talk about all of that. I want to talk about auntie love. I want to talk about something that is missing in our community as a whole. Um, in this day and age, and that we can, if we're honest with ourselves, we can all say that we are missing in some ways. It's just that the ways that we get it, we don't always like it. So I want to talk about that, and I also want to share some tips for looking your best and being comfortable. For those who don't know who I am, I'm Yaya Smith. I am first a wife and mother to four children. So if anybody knows how little time we have to give to beautification and all of those things, trust me, it's me. However, I have a different set of priorities, but I can definitely understand and remember when I was so overwhelmed with motherhood, so overwhelmed with working, so overwhelmed with just adulting in day-to-day life, that any chance that I could, I reached for what was most comfortable, what took the least amount of effort, really. So I want to talk about that too. I want to talk about a little of a different perspective on what Monique was saying, what she is saying, because she has made clear that she is not backing down. And if I love nothing else, I love an unapologetic woman. Even if you are standing on something that I don't agree with, I love women who will stand on what they say. So, super excited to get into the conversation tonight here with y'all. If this is your first time with me, whether that is on Facebook or it's on YouTube, let me know. Take some time, if you are on the YouTube channel, take some time and subscribe to the channel so that you can always get updates. Also, share the video, the live feed with someone you know who is having this conversation right now, or who may be thinking, I'm ready to take back my beauty. I'm ready to step into the best version of myself. But I also don't want that to feel like a burden. I also don't want that to feel like I am dressing up to impress people. I also want to feel authentic as I am reclaiming one of the most amazing powers of femininity, which is beauty. So, you're a first timer, Shannon. Welcome. So good to see you here. So good to see you here. So let's get into it. Let's get into it. I don't want to have y'all here all day because I can. Um, so if you are here, give me a second. Give me a second. If you are here on StreamYard and you want to share your comments, make sure that you give us permission to share your comments in StreamYard, because I love to interact and engage with y'all. I would do this on Zoom, but we ain't doing all that. So, tonight, again, we're talking about Monique. We're talking about looking your best. We're talking reclaiming your beauty. For those who are just now popping in and are like, oh my goodness, this young girl, of course, she has all the time in the world to tell us about being beautiful. Well, I am a homeschool mom of four children. Three of those children are boys. So if you are a boy mom, tending to your beauty when you have boys around, especially if they're boys like my boys. My boys are 100% boy, 100% outside in the dirt, in the sun, in the grass, wanting to go on adventures, boys. And now I have a baby girl who is definitely a tough little girl. Um, but when I think about what we're hearing right now, not only from Monique, but I think she resonated with so many people in the collective audience and the global audience around when you present yourself to the world, presenting yourself as your best self. What I hear is, not using our circumstances as a reason why we let ourselves go. Because here's the thing, if your circumstances, I'm not talking about the people who love to be comfortable. Listen, if you are the person who just, I don't care what people think. I don't want to care what people think. Status in society does not matter to me. I don't care. This probably isn't the life for you unless you just like hearing people talk. But if you are the person who does care, but you also care that you only have a certain amount of time. You have to be comfortable wherever you're going. You may have to run after a child. Lord, you may be taking care of someone else. You may just want to be comfortable. Then, really, what Monique is saying is that we have to rise above allowing our circumstances to determine how we show up in the world. Whether those circumstances are, I am a super busy mom, I don't have time for myself. I posted today on Instagram, sometimes when you have so many things going on, I need to bring the kids to soccer practice can look like I have on house slippers and a bonnet and some yoga pants. But what is the reason for that? The root cause of the issue is that you don't have the time that you need. It's not that you want to be walking around in the streets with house slippers. Again, if you are the person who does want that, this is not the life for you. But it's not that you want that. It's just that that's all that you have time for, to quickly run out of the door, to quickly get in the car, to quickly move from one thing to the next thing. And the deeper question to ask yourself there is that how you really want your life to be? When are you going to stop rushing and start living? When are you going to stop rushing and start living? And so many times we think that it's almost like you go to the doctor and you think that you're having back pains, but it's really your foot is out of alignment and it's causing pain in your back. So many times we think that I don't have time, I don't have energy, I don't have whatever it is that you can say you don't have. But really it's that you don't have systems around how you take care of yourself, how you show up for yourself, and being really clear about that. It doesn't mean that you have to have an extra 30 minutes to an hour every morning to dedicate to taking care of yourself, but it does mean that there needs to be some non-negotiable time that's focused on just you. So, when we hear women, I listen, Linda. I am and have always been an extremely petite woman. I'm 4'11". There's that. For those of you who will meet me in person and say, "Oh my God, yeah, I thought you were tall." Y'all tell me that all the time. I'm 4'11". I am on a good day, I am 105 pounds. Okay. After having 4 children, I don't do anything extra. That's just the way that my body is created. I have family members on both sides of the spectrum. I have family members who are constantly telling me, "Girl, you need to eat something. Girl, you need to sit down. You're moving too much. That's why you can't keep no weight on. You're doing too much." I have that side, okay? And I have the glamorous, I call them the glamorous side of my family, who I could have just had a baby 5 months ago, and they'll see me and say, "Oh, suck that stomach in. Oh, we don't do bellies." Okay, so I understand what you mean when you say I don't want to be policed by the people in my life around how I am showing up in my life for myself. Totally understand that. What I'm saying is, are you pleased? Are you pleased? Comfortable is one thing, pleased is another thing. When you're pleased, you can show up in the world and be pleasant. When you're pleased with yourself, with how you're showing up, how you're representing yourself, you show up differently, your posture is different, everything is different. So I hope that this is supporting some of you, and just looking at advice a little bit different, because even when I hear those things from my family, I look at it as, that's how they're showing me they care. That's how they're showing me they care. If it is relevant to me, I'll take the advice. If it is not relevant to me, thank you. And I'm moving right along. And I think that's a skill that many of us, because sometimes we have these fractured relationships with adults or family members or authority figures or people that we sought validation from or acceptance or approval from, because we have these fractured relationships there, we are now adults who wear offense on our sleeve. Okay, we wear our heart, our feelings on our sleeves, and just any and everything can hurt your feelings. Any and everything can offend you. Oh my God, I'm offended. Such and such said this, such and such said that. So what I can only say what I do. I can only say, who I am, how I show up. If it's not relevant to me, I keep going. I eat the meat and spit out the bones. So eating the meat of, especially for those of us who maybe feel unsupported, maybe feel like, it's just you and you're on your own, you're a one woman army, or you have a team, but everybody's kind of looking up to you. I just sit in that moment and say, well, okay, someone is concerned. Someone considered me. Someone saw something else in me and they thought it was important enough to mention it. Wonderful. Thank you. The goal in shifting from the always offended mindset that as a collective culture we're kind of moving towards is realizing that I personally always assume people have good intentions. When they're telling me something, whatever it is, you have good intentions, especially if it's someone who does not know me. Because you can't know me to not like me, to not have good intentions. And even if you don't have good intentions, I'm going to find some good in it. Because that is a powerful choice and how I choose to process this right now. When I look at how easily we are offended by other people's opinions, it really it shines a light on how easily we are willing to let our power go day to day. Emotions, offense, joy, happiness, it's up and down because we have it in the hands of other people. And so know that if you are the person who is like, you know what, I don't care what I wear, I don't care how I look, I don't care, I'm in the season of my life right now, it is what it is, none of this stuff matters to me, be there. Give yourself grace for being there. And don't worry that no one else is giving you grace for being there, because that is not their cross to carry. It's yours. It's not for them to give you grace. They don't have to. And that's why I say, we get there from having this fractured relationship sometimes with authority figures or people we're expecting approval from. Because when we don't get that approval in adulthood, when someone says, oh, you shouldn't be wearing a bonnet in the airport, and you're wearing a bonnet and house slippers in the airport, you now feel like they have told you something about you that you didn't know. They've told you that you're less than who you are. They've told you that they've shifted your identity in some way. And what I hope that you get from this is that you can take that power back. You can tell people thank you and keep it moving. You can not say anything. You don't even have to say thank you. You can keep it moving and not care. So that's really, important to consider. Hey, it's so good to see you here. That's important to consider as you are reimagining who you are and how you show up as a woman. Because here's the thing, and y'all know I show up. I love to show up. I love fashion. I love to dress. My husband is on here. He will tell you I am here for all the fashion drama, makeup drama. I'm here for it. And then there are days when I am walking around here in one of his t-shirts and a bonnet, and it just is what it is. And he loves me either way. But what I will tell you about that is, even if you are the woman who will not walk to the mailbox without being dressed to the nines, somebody is going to have something to say about it. People have been telling me I am extra, I'm too much, I'm intimidating all my life. I should have a tagline. I do femininity for intimidating women because all of my clients are those women who, we say what we mean and we mean what we say. We're very clear. We're very honest. We're not blunt. We're not rough, but we are very clear and very honest. And and enjoy all of ourselves. And people, it doesn't matter if it's how you dress, if it's what you say, if it's what you do. People will always have something to say about it. You'll never please everyone. This is why you can't be offended by everyone. You'll always be offended. And you also have to get to the point where you accept you. You feel good about how you look. What I can tell you personally is that I would not feel good walking around in public in a bonnet. My posture would be different. I would, especially if it were not like I'm running to the store real quick, but I'm always everywhere I go. If it's not important, quote unquote, I'm in a bonnet. I'm in house of. I wouldn't feel good about that. Another reason for that, and this is, you could take it or leave it, like it or not, it is what it is. We are grown folks and we deal with what is. My business coach is such a stickler for when we go to her events. If we're going to a retreat that she's hosting, we need to be business casual every day of the retreat. When we are leaving to go to the airport, she kind of is like double checking to make sure that you look airport ready. Because if you are building something bigger than yourself, now, if you're not building anything bigger than yourself, do what you want, do whatever you want. But if you are building something bigger than yourself, how you show up does matter. How you show up absolutely matters. You never know who you're going to meet. You never know who you will run into. You never know what opportunity is waiting right there for you. And I've heard some people say, well, your opportunities aren't going to pass you by because you're in a bonnet. They absolutely can. Absolutely can. If you are in an environment where business casual attire is appropriate, and someone crosses your path, they may have the perfect opportunity for you. You may be the perfect opportunity for them. Because we judge things with our eyes first as humans. This isn't about color. This isn't about nationality. This isn't about what country you live in. We judge things with our eyes first. It is a survival instinct. You will naturally miss that opportunity because the person's eyes will not pick you up as an opportunity. So you want to be stepping into every environment with clarity around what you represent when you're showing up. This does not mean, again, that you have to be beat to the gods every day. And I want to show you guys a few things. I brought a few tools here Because if you know me, if you've been around for a while, you know I am the queen of a head wrap. I love head wraps. Okay. I have a lot of hair and I have a lot of children. so so I don't always have time to mess with this hair, to go and sit in the salon, all of those things. However, there are a few hacks and tricks and tips that I keep in my back pocket. Y'all know how we do. Keep in my back pocket. You got to keep your toolbox ready, okay? For when I am just absolutely not here for the hair and I want to cover it up. I may be deep conditioning, I may be protective styling, I may be protecting a style, because I've seen a lot of that. You know, there are different reasons why you might have a bonnet on out in the streets. All right. So here are a few things that I use very regularly. One I have on right now. I will show you one that is not on my head. This is a turban. Excuse my nails. I have not been to the salon since vacation and it's pretty sad, but I'm getting there, y'all. We're working on a launch right now. But this is a turban from Moaves. It's a Black owned, woman owned company. This one is lined with a microfiber fabric on the inside, like a towel. So it is perfect for deep conditioning. Perfect for deep conditioning. Perfect for when you are on the go. You want to look super cute. I have them in a ton of colors, y'all. Clearly, I have one on right now in the cheetah print. I have this orange. There's a hot pink. There's a blush. There's a champagne, black. And it has this cute gold. Let me make sure I'm getting the camera right for YouTube here. Okay. Cute gold detail, button, and this little, you see it? Yep. Throw it right on. Okay. So I'll show you really quickly a demo because I have something on under here that I also want you to see. So if I were deep conditioning, I would probably have on something like this. This is my satin lined, hold on, let me get it together for y'all. This is my satin lined Grace Alea little beanie. So this is something that you could easily pop on with a necklace, with a pair of earrings and a cute lip, and be about your business. Okay. Take it up a notch. I have a friend, all of my bonnets, I actually wear these to sleep as well because they stay on better than bonnets. Most of my bonnets are in the washer right now, but I have a bonnet that matches this. I have a friend, her company is Ziza Boutique. Team A Lot of Hair, yes. Her company is Ziza Boutique. And what she does is she makes bonnets that come with this little head wrap. So imagine, okay, in your mind, I have on the bonnet that matches this, right? Have on the bonnet. I'm able to wrap this around and the bonnet turns into a head wrap, y'all. Just that easy. Just that easy. Pop in an earring and you are good to go. Okay. Next thing, y'all really have to excuse these nails because I'm out here living my worst nail life this week. But next thing, and this one has a cute pearl detail on the back. Super cute. We're going to go back to this so y'all can see how easy it is. All I do is run it right over the top of that, twist it around, bring it back, and clip it on the little button. Pop in an earring, you're good to go. So let's say you don't have, you're not in a button down or whatever. You could totally put on a plain t-shirt. I used to be, even before I was a mother, especially before I was a mother, actually, because I don't wear jeans. But back then I did. I was the queen of a denim jean, a white t-shirt, and amazing accessories and shoes. I loved shoes and accessories. I was not the person who had to have all the new clothes, but I would accessorize anything and put a great pair of shoes on. So, plain white tee. Just imagine this is a plain white t-shirt. Throw on a necklace with your head wrap. Hold on, y'all, because this necklace is like getting a little stuck. Okay. You have your necklace. You have your earrings. This doesn't look as good because obviously I'm not in a t-shirt. But as you can see, yes, Ziza Boutique. That is the company with the head wrap to, or bonnet to head wrap. So as you can see, all it takes is a couple accessories, a cute hair wrap. Okay, cute. Here's another. This is from Melissa Mitchell. She's an awesome, awesome artist. And I've been buying her head wraps for years. This is an enormous head wrap. It can also be a sarong, but gorgeous. Okay, so the question really to ask yourself is, do I feel good in what I have on? If I were given the opportunity of a lifetime, would I feel confident stepping into it how I look right now? And work on your defining of that, because that's where sometimes we can find the Western standards for beauty and the idea that, you know, your fro isn't enough or your whatever isn't enough. They are. You don't have to have on the most expensive clothes or the most expensive shoes, but do you feel good? Do you truly feel your best? And start there. You don't have to be team overdressed. You don't have to be team overdressed. I am 100% team overdressed, like all the time. But that's just how I like to be. And it doesn't, for me, take much extra effort because it naturally is something that comes for me. If what naturally comes to you is a pair of crisp jeans and a nice crisp white tee and a pair of flats, there you go. There are days when you will see me in the street in a nice cute denim skirt with some nice cute little espadrilles and a plain white t-shirt, hair wrap, earrings, and a necklace. And that's it. And I can get myself together in 5 minutes, 10 minutes. So the real question is not what Monique or what people or what society thinks about how you are showing up, but how you think about how you are showing up. So that's the first few things. Let me see. Oh, I really wanted to point this out. Okay, I wanted to point this out because offense culture and cancel culture are super childish to me. To me, don't have to be childish to you, but they are to me. And just to give you some perspective on why getting offended, why, you know, trying to silence people because they've offended you or even offended the group is not the best idea. So, first of all, we talked about other people's opinion does not have to offend you. You get to decide how you will feel about what is anything that's being said to you. But the next part of this is understanding that, and my teachers who are in the room, y'all gonna feel me on this one. Understanding that just because the message is not for you doesn't mean the message isn't for someone. Just because the message isn't for you doesn't mean that the message isn't for someone. So think about when you are in class and there's that student in class who seems to know all the answers. They just know. Okay. Everything that the teacher is teaching, imagine if they raised their hand every single time and said, well, I don't need to know that. I already know that. Why are you even teaching this? I feel like you're insulting my intelligence by teaching this. But 10 other kids in the class needed to hear what she was teaching. We have to step out of this very individual and selfish mindset that says everything in the world needs to make me comfortable, make me happy, and be tailored to me. No, everything in your world can be that way, but everything in the world will not be that way. Every message is not the message for you. Stop looking for a word all over everywhere and you won't be offended when the word is not your word, when the word is not in agreement with you. Okay, so realizing that you have to stop silencing messages just because they make you uncomfortable. Just silence it in your world. Silence it in your world. And sometimes you will sit with yourself and say, well, why don't I like that? Why am I not feeling that? Other times you'll say, I just don't like it because I don't like it, and that's fine. But realize that every message is not meant for you. You may be past that point in your journey. You may not have gotten to that point in your journey. One thing that losing my father really taught me is that a lot of things that we hear in our lives that we don't want to hear, that we think we know, tons of things that we're like, oh, you know what, that's not for me, that's not for me. As you progress on your journey, those very same things will be what comes back around to you, and you're like, you know what, I needed that. I needed that. So listen twice, as they say, and speak once. Take some time to just hear the message. Consider where it may be coming from. If it fits you, follow it. If it does not, don't follow it. Simple as that. Expend no energy on things that do not fit for you. If you are the person who says, I'm going to be in my house slippers wherever I go, I don't care, I'm going to be comfortable, perfect. Then why give any energy to something that doesn't resonate with you, that isn't relevant for you? Okay, because no matter what, your time matters. How you spend your time matters. And then there are times when, you cannot care. But if you are a person who's legacy focused, you care. You care. You care. Because your posture is more geared toward what is good for the future, what is good for the woman that you want to be in your present and in your future, than you are, does this make me comfortable? Does this make me happy? Yes, those things are important, but those things are also secondary when you're a legacy focused person in general, not just women, because we can even talk about men. Most legacy focused men are not walking around with their pants hanging down and their underwear showing. They're just not. The ones who are and are legacy focused, there's a point where you can do what you want. If you are Beyonce, you can walk into any meeting with a bonnet on, while she probably would not, but she can, because her reputation precedes her, because her value precedes her, because no one is judging her based on how she looks, because they know what she's bringing to the table. When you have positioned yourself in such a way in your life that you don't need to be introduced because your value precedes you, then whether you're legacy focused or not, you can wear what you want and do what you want. But if you are the person who is focused on progressing your generation, whether that's the generation of your family, the generation of our society, if you're a person who's focused on progressing that in a meaningful way, in a kingdom way, shall I say, because meaningful has various definitions, but in a kingdom way, if you are focused on that, then I got to dress for the job I got. So I hope that that supports you. I hope that it helps you. I saw someone say, glad that you got a demo. Absolutely. I love that you gave us a demo as well as insight. I feel the love. Absolutely. That's all I'm here for. Listen, people say I snatch edges all the time, and maybe I do, but that's not my goal. My goal is not to snatch your edges. My goal is to actually help you take the wig off completely and take care of what is under there. Take care of what you naturally see when you look at yourself, when you look at your life, when you look at the most authentic and beautiful version of you. Who is that? Who is that best version of yourself? And let's cultivate and nurture her, and stop covering it up with a wig and making it look real cute so you don't have to take care of it or pay attention to it. Okay. And Zinga says, yes, exactly. And everything is not an attack. Absolutely. Absolutely. I saw a couple comments a little further up. Carrie K says, sometimes life struggles and situations will have you walking around looking not too hot. I was just talking with a friend about not looking like what we may be going through at the moment. And I love that you brought that up, Carrie, because one of the tools in my toolkit, and if you ever join Feminine Success, if you come into the community, you will learn to cultivate your beauty in a way that feels authentic to you. You'll learn to cultivate what work looks like, so you can work how you want, where you want, when you want. But with that, when I am in those moments where life is just lifing, like life is just lifing, it's doing a lot. Oh my goodness. One of the things that always brings me up is turning back inward and making myself look good, feel good, taking extra care of myself. And that helps me to feel more confident, feel like I can take on the world. I mean, they say if you give a woman the right pair of shoes, she can take on the world. And I believe that that's true. So, so definitely those circumstances do come up. Things happen, and you can create a new method, a new system in your life for how you deal with things when they come up, and how you make sure that you're not the one falling by the wayside when life is happening. Carrie K again, she says, I've honestly been neglecting my looks lately because I've just been feeling bloated and a little insecure, but I've been trying to gather my mental health and reinvest in self. This live is so on time. I'm glad this was on time for you. This is also why I love dresses, because I look good even when I'm bloated, even when I'm feeling terrible. I feel like dresses suit everybody. The right dress suits any body type, any body shape. And it's one piece of clothing. Another reason I love dresses, one piece of clothing. You don't have to make many decisions to look fabulous. So take that tip with y'all. All right, let me see. I see some new comments. That's a great analogy. Eat the meat, spit out the bones. Absolutely. Let me see what else y'all are saying. Katie's Garden says, hey, Katie, this is so relevant to me right now as I see my life and business pivoting. Exactly. Yolanda says, embodying excellence in leadership. I appreciate that so very much. So, with all of that being said, I hope that today's live supported you. I hope that it gave you what you needed, and gave you a sense of clarity and confidence around how you're showing up in the world, whether you're showing up in your basics or you're showing up fully dressed to the nines, that you feel good about the way that you are showing up in the world. Valerie says, I have 2 young children. I also am a mother of 4, so I understand what it is having small children. I have a 2-year-old, 6-year-old, he just turned 6, an 8-year-old, and an 11-year-old. And they were all babies at one point. I remember what it's like having 3 little bitty babies under 5, and all of them were boys, and they're doing the most and tearing things up and spilling things on you. I always bring an extra shirt with me for those reasons. So I hope that this supported you. For those of you who are wanting to join me in the Feminine Success Masterclass, it is a 5-day coaching experience. Amazing, amazing support around understanding how to build a better relationship with yourself, tap into your feminine power, undo some of the programming that maybe has you hiding from your beauty, maybe has you putting yourself on the back burner in the season of your life, or even putting your dreams on the back burner in the season of your life, and really looking at how you can step up to the plate, step up to the forefront, step into your power, and leverage that power all over your life. So the link is there, box2blueprint.com. If you go to that link, you'll see testimonials from women who have walked through the masterclass, through my coaching programs. You'll see the framework that we work through as well, and all the information that you need. And registration closes in 10 days. Registration for the masterclass closes in 10 days. This is the last time that I'll be coaching the masterclass live, so take advantage. Get this good coaching while you can. And invest in yourself. Take the time that you say that you've been saying to yourself that you'll take, the moves that you've been saying to yourself that you'll make those moves. Do it now. Don't wait. Social Charlotte says, so glad I joined the masterclass and now Feminine Success School last year. Yes, 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 yes. Some of my clients are here. Y'all are amazing as always. Thank you all so much for showing up for yourselves, for showing up for me, for always sharing what your experience in the program is, because there are a lot of fly by night things. There are a lot of very surface level things out here. So sharing that you are getting results really means a lot to me. And with that, I'm going to say good night, y'all. Thank you for showing up. I hope I have earned the pleasure of your time. Y'all have a good one.